Rembrandt van Rijn is considered one of the greatest painters and printmakers in European history and certainly in Dutch history. He painted during the Dutch Golden Age, which included Johan Vermeer, Jacob van Ruysdael, and Frans Hals. He found success as a portrait painter in his youth but faced personal tragedy and financial collapse in later years. He was also recognized as a great teacher in his later years. Rembrandt is known primarily for his portraits, but also produced many biblical and historical pieces. He also created beautiful self-portraits which stand as some of his greatest achievements. Rembrandt was born on the 15th of July, 1606, in Leiden, in the Dutch Republic, which is now the Netherlands. He was the 9th child born in a family which was quite well-to-do. Although he attended the University of Leiden, his attention quickly turned to painting, and he became an apprentice to history painter Jacob van Swanenburg, with whom he spent 3 years. After a brief but important apprenticeship of 6 months with the famous painter Peter Lastman in Amsterdam, Rembrandt opened a studio in Leiden in 1624 or 1625, which he shared with friend and colleague Jan Lievens. By 1629, Rembrandt was producing portraits of some of the most influential citizens in Leiden and even from the court of The Hague. At the end of 1631, Rembrandt moved to Amsterdam and opened a portrait studio. In 1634, he married Saskia van Ulenburg. In 1635, Rembrandt and Saskia moved into their own house, renting at first and then later buying in the Jewish quarter. The house is now the Rembrandt House Museum. It was there that Rembrandt frequently sought his Jewish neighbors to model for his Old Testament paintings. During these years, Rembrandt and Saskia lost a son and a daughter before the infants were 2 months old. They again lost a 4-week-old daughter in 1638. Only their 4th child, Titus, who was born in 1641, survived into adulthood. Saskia died in 1642, soon after Titus's birth, probably from tuberculosis. In the late 1640s, Rembrandt began a relationship with Hendrika Stoffels, who later became his wife by common law. They had one daughter, Cornelia. Rembrandt lived beyond his means most of his life, and he was often in financial trouble. In 1660, he was forced to sell his house and his printing press and move to more modest accommodations on the Rozengracht. In 1661, Rembrandt was contracted to produce a painting for the newly completed City Hall in Amsterdam. The conspiracy of Claudius Civilis was rejected and returned to Rembrandt. In 1662, he was still fulfilling major commissions for portraits and other works. Rembrandt outlived both Hendrika, who died in 1663, and Titus, who died in 1668. He died within a year of his son on October 4th, 1669, in Amsterdam, and was buried in an unmarked grave in the Westerkerk.